The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight is the newest trending topic. Can media houses belonging to businessmen who have now entered politics be impartial? We have a look tonight. Also tonight, Southern Shore is heating up, and it's not between the PLP and the FNM. It's the PLP aspirants that are giving it 100% to get the nomination. We have a look at the two aspirants. Also tonight, Renwood Wells seeking a third term. That's the talk on the ground tonight. But the big question, Wells, why are you so quiet? It's all straight ahead this evening. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, this just in, before we get started, you all pull up a chair. It's going to be this kind of show tonight. Former sports journalist Julian Gibson, who now resides in South Andros, reportedly has just secured the Central and South Andros nomination for the Free National Movement. Once again, that's former sports journalist Julian Gibson has just support the Free National, just acquired or got the nomination for the Free National Movement in the Central and South Andros constituency. It is something we will continue to follow, and hopefully we can bring you more information, if not tomorrow, then certainly this week. Meanwhile, frontline politics heating up with media personalities moving into frontline politics. Questions are surfacing about ethics and potential bias. Laurencia Smith has this story, and then we come back and talk about it.
With debate intensifying nationwide over media professionals crossing the line into politics, United States Ambassador to the Bahamas and veteran journalist who once served as the head of Jones Communication, Wendell Jones, says he sees no issue with journalists entering the political ring, but did raise some concerns.
You cannot be serving as an executive in a media company and immediately jump into politics. I believe that a resignation at the appropriate time is necessary, and then you get involved.
Among those in the mix, ZNS General Manager Clint Watson, spotted on the ground in Southern Shores, believed to be seeking the party's nomination there as well. Verizon Media Group stakeholder Sebastian Bastian already ratified for Fort Charlotte under the PLP. Verizon CEO Gershon Major noting Bastian's role in the company.
Let me say that our journalists at Eyewitness News are seasoned industry professionals who joined our organization precisely because of the journalistic ethos and autonomy they're able to exercise within the organization. As it relates to our chairman, since I assumed office as Chief Executive Officer 5 years ago, His Excellency Sebastian Bastian has not had any direct involvement.
Well, listen, let me just pick right up right there. In fact, I'll tell you what else Major had to say. Of course, you know, Major is the CEO of Verizon Media Group, responsible chiefly for Eyewitness News and the operations here. Of course, you heard him say that since becoming CEO, Sebastian Bastian has had no direct daily involvement in the operations here at this news station. He says, listen, Eyewitness News under Gershon Major is less concerned about biases because we're living in a very different era from a decade and a half ago, one where mainstream views are no longer the sole, mainstream news are no longer the sole source of information. And he's right. He says the truth today can be suppressed. Information moves fluidly and well beyond traditional news formats. Every story now exists within an ecosystem of instant feedback, public scrutiny, and independent verification within minutes of a report being publicized. Anyone can challenge, fact check, or confirm it across personal and professional WhatsApp groups and social media platforms. In that sense, news and information have both been democratized even further. Also, this is what Major says. Major says, and so really what may have been legitimate concern years ago simply isn't the same issues today. In fact, the real concern, and get this, and this is so true, because nowadays you don't know what you're looking at and can determine it. He says, for us here in the news landscape, isn't whether there's bias or not, it's misinformation, fake memes, fabricated content, AI-generated videos, and manipulated voice notes. That's right. That's where the real threat to transparency lies. Very, very true. We're going to jump in right there this evening, get started with our discussion tonight. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Beyond the Headlines contributors, Leslie Miller, Garth Roseborough, Howard Johnson. Good evening to you, gentlemen. It's great to have you all here. Let's just jump into this new argument that's emerged, and that is of media bosses. You also saw a media executive who now is seeking political office, and one person saying, in fact, it's Wendell Jones, that, listen, this person, in the person of Clint Watson, should have exited news and his position at ZNS a long time before he went into or sought to seek public office. Your thoughts about that?
I don't know if I could say a right or wrong in terms of Clint Watson wanting to enter into politics at this particular time. I think each Bahamian should have a right to actually go forward on the front line of this country to represent this country. What we are really truly looking for is the best. And I cannot say comfortably tonight, Shanique Miller, and those who are listening, good night to you, I must say, I'm not comfortable at all at this time with some of the aspirants. I'm looking at Southern Shores. I must confess, this race to me is a bit murky. I have seen stronger candidates, and I'll tell you why stronger. I'm not used to seeing aspirants on the ground and not feeling them. I have not felt them, Shanique Miller. Feeling for me was when I ran in 2011, going to 12, $30,000 at the pocket. You were in the community, you're making things happen. There were groups, there were parties, there were gatherings. Food was actually, just spreading about. It was just a different type of energy for me. So it makes it kind of difficult right now. But I do believe that between Clint Watson and Mr. Obi Roberts, I think it is.
Well, I think you jump ahead, Garth. Don't jump ahead to the next story.
Like I said, it's murky for me, Shani. I'm trying to figure this one out. So I'll leave it at that and let Leslie Miller and Howard Johnson jump in.
Because we're getting there. Believe me, we're going to jump into that pool in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Howard, jump in.
Yes, good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. I think this is a challenging one as well because, we can't say, I'm a big rights guy, and we can't say that, okay, someone owns a media company and that disqualifies them from running for office. I don't think that your success in business should eliminate you from running for office if that's what you so choose. Mm-hmm. So it's a murky issue, like Garth has said, and it's very challenging. But I would say this. I know that over the years, it's been both administrations that have had people hired, and then they would have leapfrogged into politics. And so you could go back and forth about who did this and who was there while they were serving at ZNS or this place and the next place. Mm-hmm. My view is simply this. If you're a political candidate and you know that silly season is upon us, what you want to do is eliminate those arrows that are going to come at you, as many of them as possible. And in the situation that Clint Watson finds himself in, me personally, were I him, I would have resigned before my interest level would have gotten to a place where I'm a serious contender. Because that is one less thing you would have to deal with from the opposition and from your opponent, using that as leverage to say that you are not fit and that you have poor judgment, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. So it's just one less thing that Clint would have to deal with. Seeing that we're talking about him and any political candidate for that matter. Get out of things that are going to look like conflicts or that are going to be issues with you, because there are some things that you just can't avoid as issues. That's something you can avoid.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. My mind goes back to the late great Sir Charles Carter, who's also at ZNS, also Kelsey Johnson, who's also at ZNS, and the job that Charles Carter did as a member of Parliament for Sea Breeze and as a minister in the government. He was a wonderful person. In fact, Bemis loved him everywhere. Just a wonderful person, did a wonderful job, and that's why he was knighted with the Queen's highest honor. With the situation with Clint, I spent Saturday with his team, and we had a wonderful time in the constituency. He's well received. I think.
Don't jump ahead to the.
No, I think the problem is.
Yes.
Both gentlemen, they were working at ZNS, and once they got the nomination, then they demitted office at ZNS.
And that is what the law says.
Okay, the law said you must demit office, you must demit that position that you have. Until that time's come, they have every right to still earn a living. Remember, these men have families, just like all of us. You know, and nothing prevents that. With regard to the gentleman that owns the station here, nobody could say,
don't forget the Tribune Media Group as well, so both of them.
On the Tribune, the telephones provided more information than all these guys put together. Most of it is garbage, most of it is untrue, most of it is unfiltered, but most people now get most of their news, or the news that they want to watch.
Social media.
Of social media, rather than the leading newspapers and the leading television entities. The United States, all around the world, people listen more to what they see on social media than what is really the facts out in the real world. But I think each and every one of them have an opportunity to make a contribution to the Bahamas. We certainly should not stop them from making that contribution. I think both of them have good careers. They've made a contribution. They're going on to the next level now to make a higher contribution to our country. And I wish them well.
Yeah, I don't see any of the media bosses certainly stepping in and dictating what should be on, let's say, this show, for example. That's not happened before, and I don't see it happening. I quite frankly, I don't see, unless there was something that's questionable that surfaced in a headline or something where it's favorable, then I can understand a discussion like this happening. Yes, yeah, favorable to them. Yes, yeah.
Unbiased.
Unbiased. Yeah. Well, not favorable, bias.
Yeah, bias.
To them. Yeah. I could understand this discussion happening. Until that happens, I quite frankly don't see the need for this discussion.
That is highly unlikely to take place.
There's a need, Howard, because when we look at history, those who were involved in media, newscasters, etc., reporters, their influence was what was actually honored by the Bahamian community, and through their influence, they were favorably selected to enter into the House of Assembly.
Yes.
So these will be media owners or media participants. There is a fair factor that their influence may work against those people who are criticizing most. This is why we're discussing it, Shanique Miller, and this is why I appreciate you for bringing it forward.
And the thing, Shanique, one last thing I'd like to add, because I spoke about Clint, but I want to say something relative to Sabaz. I know as an owner of a small business here in the United States and as the CEO of a nonprofit, there are different levels, right? Yes. So you have the management structure, which is the executive in a business company. And then you have the board of directors. So management deals with the day-to-day of the business, right? Of
course.
And then the board of directors, they are the oversight or the watchdog of management. And then you have the owners, like Sabaz is, right? He's the owner. They are on the outside. They are the guys who get the dividend checks and the profit checks and stuff like that. And they don't, get involved in the day-to-day or in the work of the board of directors. And if you have the professionals in the management level and at the worker level, and you have an ownership group or members of the ownership group attempting to interfere, then that is your opportunity to protest by resigning, right? You protest by resigning, because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna impact what comes out of that media house as news, because the owner isn't a media guy, so he's not going to sit in front of the camera and be an anchor. He's not going to be the general manager. So this is your baby. This is your goose that laid the golden egg, and you don't want to mess it up. So I don't see that interference thing as a big issue.
You're right. I mean, they're still businessmen after all, and whether they are in politics or not, they would want their hard work and something they've labored on, and investments to continue and to continue paying off.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, gentlemen, a group of Progressive Liberal Party hopefuls are making their presence felt in communities across New Providence. Let's just move with me across New Providence. Of course, as they continue to campaign for more than just votes, they are seeking the PLP's official nod to contest seats in the next general election. We get the story from Linton Ritchie, and then we come back and talk more about it.
Of Progressive Liberal Party political hopefuls, all new to frontline politics, took to the streets in constituencies across the capital over the weekend, presenting their vision to the electorate and being reminded of frustrations and goals voiced by residents on the ground. PLP Deputy Chairman Obi Roberts and veteran broadcaster Clint Watson both on the ground in Southern Shores. Meanwhile, former chairman of the National Neighborhood Watch Council, Keno Wong, hosting a meet and greet in the St. Anne's constituency. All men seemingly following a message handed down to the party's ratified candidates as they hope to follow in their footsteps.
You will walk more roads, shake more hands, and hear more stories than you've ever heard before. That's what it takes to earn the trust of the Bahamian people.
Now, the group of aspirants did not hit the ground without bringing some political figures along with them. Former veteran politician Leslie Miller, side by side with Watson, and current sitting member of Parliament Jomo Campbell and Wade Watson standing beside Wong. Eyewitness News understands that all men were set to appear before the candidate selection committee this week. However, PLP insiders have delayed all interviews due to the recent announcement of a by-election made by Prime Minister Philip Davis on Thursday night. But does that mean the groundwork should pause?
So PLPs, get your tennis, get your hats, get your shoes. Come tomorrow, we are going to the battlefield.
Now, while Watson and Roberts work to carry the governing party banner in Southern Shores, Denali Penmaki has already been ratified for the Free National Movement and Kirk Farrington for the Coalition of Independents. And as for St. Anne's, incumbent Adrian White was ratified to carry the party's banner once again. No choice yet for the PLP, and Graham Weatherford is expected to represent the COI. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
And so there you have it, that story. We saw Keno Wong, somebody who's a hopeful at this point for the Progressive Liberal Party in the St. Anne's constituency. But I'll tell you this, everyone's looking at Southern Shores. And that's because this weekend you saw it looked like each contender had their own rally, right? So let's just talk about, gentlemen, very briefly, Clint Watson and Obi Roberts. Which person looks most interesting and perhaps can give a good race when it comes to the F&M's candidate?
Well, Shanika, I know you want us to jump in quickly. The F&M candidate is extremely formidable, very strong, and she's spending resources, finances. She's touching people. She did some back-to-school events. She actually gives some teachers some gifts. Mm-hmm. She is on the ground, and she is working diligently. As for the person coming in from the Progressive Liberal Party, why I did feel left out before is because Shanique Miller, this year, this constituency, Southern Shores, they're not looking for a conversation any longer. I'm seeing conversations. People now want to see action. This upcoming by-election, this upcoming general election is about action. The one who shows the action brings the proof in the pudding.
What kind of action you mean?
I'm not about action in getting things done that has been lacking in the past. For instance, you cannot have holes in the roads in Southern Shores and say, you know what, when I get in, I'm going to patch the holes in the road. My God, we didn't have them patched for 4 years.
You're trying to say, do it now.
You got to come out doing it. You can't talk about it. Just come out and patch the road. Now, if you patch the road, you know what I say? That's a man of action. You have me and my attention 100%. But right now, everybody just talking. I'm not interested. I really am not interested.
Go ahead, my brother.
Howard, Leslie?
Denali is definitely a formidable candidate. She already has a head start. Mm-hmm. I mean, at this particular point, looking at this race, excuse me, she already has a head start because the PLP's candidate is not out there as yet. So you have to take that into consideration. She is high energy. She is visible. She is hungry. This lady wants to be in the House of Assembly.
That's correct.
And when I looked over the weekend deliberately at what's emerging in Southern Shores, I've been looking at ads and videos on social media and walkabouts with both Clint and Obi Roberts. And I can tell you, when I look at everything on its face, I see Clint emerging as the more energetic, the more natural, the more charismatic. I see him smiling and OB's smiling too, but you can just feel Clint's energy more than you can feel OB's, in my opinion. And that is what I believe is needed in order to match what Dennerly brings to the table.
She certainly brings a lot of energy. She brings she supports her energy. She ain't just coming there smiling in your face and doing a 1-2 step. She, like you say, she's been making her presence felt. And so the candidate for the Progressive Liberal Party that will get people's attention has to match and exceed that.
That's correct.
Wouldn't they?
Yes,
so how would you say you
Absolutely.
believe that person is Clint? Well, Garth, who do you think before Leslie jumps in?
Clint is showing much more favorable actions. I did understand there's some disgruntlement, maybe a little bit of envy, but you know what? O.B. Roberts, you got to step it up. This one is for the win, and right now, you got to just be mindful that Clint does have the favorable edge on you. It's just a fact.
Leslie?
You know, I had the privilege of spending all day Saturday with Clint and his team in that area. He was well received. He's not carrying any baggage, which is the other guy who has much baggage, even from his own family, as I've heard on social media. In fact, it was very ferocious how they went after him. Clint should be the expected candidate. People knew him, knows about him from ZNS, his days here as a newscaster. And I was surprised that they love his musical group that he has. They spoke a lot about musical group and the nice songs that he does, and his outreach in church and all the civic matters that he's been involved with. Far and above, he's a better candidate who would take on and beat the F&M candidate. Now, when we get to Sunset Park, 1, 2, and 3, and when we get to Rocky Pine Road and get up to Gladstone Road, that's where the race is going to be won by my good friend Clint Watson. That's my old area.
Well, I'll tell you, Leslie.
And we will walk away, and I guarantee you.
That's a part of Tall Pines, you're saying?
It used to be a part of Blue Hills.
Blue Hills, okay.
And I went in there in 1987 when I was elected. So I have a good relationship with them. And he's been accepted by them. He has a vibrant personality, a decent human being, a family man, and a man of God. And I'm with him 1,000%.
Well, we will certainly, I tell you, as we move forward, each constituency is sort of like, you see everything is sort of taking on a new energy and personality. So Southern Shores has become one of those areas to watch. Yes. Meanwhile, gentlemen, the by-election is a go. You all know that by now. Both the PLP and the F&M were spotted this weekend on the grounds in the Golden Isles constituency. A win is important for any party.
Yep.
Any party, especially the PLP and the F&M. As it stands now, guys, very, very briefly, who's hitting the ground with the biggest advantage?
For me, living there in Golden Isles, factually, the Free National Movement and Brian Brown has been on the ground for 8 to 9 years that I am certain of. He has never closed his headquarters. Every situation, whether it be Christmas, New Year's, birthdays, anniversaries, whether it be whatever, Independence Day, he's been there. And so the PLP has to recognize that you have someone in that constituency who is working and has never stopped working. So once again, Shanique Miller, you cannot, as I saw this weekend, the PLP, bring everybody from all around the country to come into Golden Isles and expect Golden Isles to respect that. It's not going to happen. There's a formula for Golden Isles. It's not the same formula as West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Do not make that mistake.
No.
Do not make that mistake.
I agree with
This
you.
is a different animal. Even Brian Roll has somewhat of an advantage because they've never had an opportunity, which is the COI. I'm warning you, I'm telling you, I live in Golden Isles. I spoke to one of the PLP strong men today, Shanique Miller, coming in from Eleuthera, and he said, Garth, we got the same report from another person who's strong in the community as to what you're saying is correct. Do not play with Golden Isles. We are not the ones to play with.
How does Darren Pickstock look? I mean,
we do not know him. This is what I'm saying. We know Brian Roll. We know Brian Brown. They live there. We see these people. We feel these people. You're coming in. You want to introduce yourself to us, and you're talking. Talking is not going to. You don't have enough time to talk to everybody and for us to warm up to you. You have to come in with action. This is all I'm simply saying.
Well,
your action has to
Darren
speak.
Pickstock, as of October 20th. Sir, at
Yes.
what, 8:40 in the evening, you seem to be lacking. Howard, jump in.
Shanique, I really think that Brian Brown has more than 8 years. I remember when I started in politics and Charlie Maynard was the member of parliament down there in Golden Isles. Brian Brown was the chairman of the F&M Association. He has been around there and he has been visible in that community for more than 12 years. I think I'd say about 15 years. Darren Pickstock is a young man who is just jumping into politics. And to hear what God just said about him not being known and nobody knows who he is, that's a travesty to me. And let me tell you why, real quick. He has been a senator in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas for the last 4+ years.
Wow.
That is a national post. He has a national platform. And I believe that these people have to stop looking at the Senate of the Bahamas as the political graveyard or the rubber stamp for the House of Assembly and realize that they can use it whether or not they are interested in having a further political career or not. You can use your Senate platform to
make it useful
change,
and impactful. Yes.
Support initiatives.
Yes.
Support things out there in the community. Enhance your public profile.
Yes.
Using the Senate as your platform.
Yes.
And I don't see why this young man has people saying today, even if he's new to Golden Isles, you should not be new to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Because you sit in the Senate of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Absolutely. I have to go to a break, but you're right. As a senator for this entire term, he should be on such a roll with being so vocal and so present where it matters that he takes that energy into Golden Isles. When we come back, though, somebody who has energy and trying to get more is Dr. Hubert Minister Kalani. He accepted the fitness challenge. I'll tell you about that right after the break.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Welcome to Blissful Escapes, where luxury meets affordability. Whether you're seeking relief from aches and pains or simply looking to indulge in some well-deserved pampering, relax and detox in our infrared sauna. Enjoy a soothing Swedish massage or an invigorating exfoliating body scrub. We also provide advanced facial treatments using cutting-edge technology, including hydrofacial, microneedling, and microcurrent therapies, located at the shops of Cable Beach Plaza.
Running out of space? We've got room for that. Welcome to Skyline Storage, your trusted self-storage solution. Skyline Storage offers units from 5x10 to 10x30, climate-controlled or standard dry. Perfect for home or business. Located in Westfield Commerce Park, Western New Providence. Your belongings stay safe with gated access and 24/7 surveillance starting at $175 a month. Reserve, pay, and move in online. No phone calls, no paperwork. Visit SkylineStorage.com. Skyline Storage. Storage made simple.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome to Paradise Premium Foods, where exceptional taste meets everyday convenience. Right in the heart of Hurricane Hole Plaza, whether you're planning a beachside brunch, an intimate dinner, or simply restocking your favorites. We offer only the finest selection of local and imported goods, handpicked for quality, freshness, and flavor. At Paradise Premium Foods, shopping is effortless, service is personal, and every visit feels like a treat. From gourmet meals to go to organic essentials and indulgent treats, this is your neighborhood market elevated. Live well, eat better. Discover Paradise Premium Foods, now open at Hurricane Hole Plaza, Paradise Island. Paradise Premium Foods. Taste the difference.
Oh, okay.
Well, welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to get back get the show rolling. But Leslie, you did not have an opportunity to speak on Golden Isles, how it looks right now. Of course, we know politics is quite fluid. This by-election, a date has not been announced, but it certainly is ahead. And Leslie, your thoughts on this Golden Isles by-election?
First and foremost, Dave and I have decided that in deference to our friend and brother, Warren Miller, we will not be on the road until after his funeral on Friday. On Saturday, we will go there with a team of persons who worked with us closely with Warren before, who are now complaining that, the new so-called war room group has probably sidelined a few of them, and they would wish for us to go with them in the area. So we'll see what happens.
So this is
thing go along.
So you'll be leading a different group.
I'm not familiar with the gentleman who has gotten the nomination. I met him a few times, but I've had no in-depth conversation with him or the group. But we will do what we have to do on behalf of Mr. Davis, the leader of the party, and we'll see what happens from there. But Mr. Brown, I've met him many times in the area. He's well known in the area. He can be beaten, but you got a lot of work to do, and you shouldn't take persons who are not familiar with the people in the area to go and dictate to those who are familiar. But you all run the war room, but the warriors who run the war room should go on the damn road and do something too. You are soldiers that can't go on the front line.
This sound like inside a personal
no, just
war.
get real. I just want them to get real.
It sounds like a little personal war within itself.
All right?
But quickly before we move on.
Things on there. But out there in the marketplace, there's a different running to do.
Understand the Right Honorable Potgate.
Yes.
Understand that.
Whole set of different
Garth, before we move very, very quickly, I didn't ask you for a dissertation.
Yes.
What are some of the main needs of Golden Isles? Just because you're a resident, that's why I'm asking.
We need sidewalks in the Adelaide area for the school children that are walking to school. There are vehicles that are speeding by, and we have a whole lot of castorina trees in the road. So, potholes are a big issue in the Golden Isles constituency. Flooding is a big issue. If you recall, when we had the bushfires on the Kalani side of the road of Carmichael, that smoke was actually blowing over into the Golden Isles side. So we had over 2 weeks of smoke inhalation. The closest police station to Golden Isles is all the way to Carmichael Road by Flamingo Gardens. And so it means then that any assistance that we need, we have to wait eternally long for that to take place. Golden Isles has a plethora of issues, mosquitoes, we have environmental issues, we've had oil spills in the area with no report given about the oil spills. And so as you look at the Golden Isles constituency with even the school children, they have to wait outside 6:30 in the morning to catch the bus to go all the way to Anatole Rogers on Faith Avenue South. These are things that can be fixed, but
it
of course,
it is a huge
I can talk all night about
constituency, and it's grown tremendously.
And despite having about 7,000 constituents,
7,000.
One area, God bless him, one of the cleanest area in New Providence.
So he's kept the area.
And then the airport
job.
He's kept the area
clean and pristine.
And Chidi, quickly, the airport road. People speeding on that airport road 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Poorly lit, and there's no white lines in the center of the road. It's extremely dangerous with the potholes there as well. I can go on all day, all night.
Dr. Minnis is on the fitness challenge, gentlemen. The challenge was issued by Andrew Blue Johnson, the independent candidate in Freetown. This has gotten many aspirants and candidates to drop their colors and get behind the Get Fit message. Y'all think Dr. Minnis is playing? Take a look at this.
You on?
She's training for Leslie.
Trying to bring to politics. Now, Dr. Minnis, come up here. Mind taking a picture with your lovely wife, quite also well. But let me tell you something about Andrew Johnson is here to work with everybody. And who would not want to get advice and knowledge from a former Prime Minister? All right, so Dr. Minnis, after this event is over, we're here to talk and kids. I need a couple of minutes of your time.
I am always
available too. Thank you very much.
I am always available to any behavior.
Thank you very much. Especially Freetown that wants blue.
Well, is there more behind that handshake than we saw? We saw Doc jogging. I heard your name called, Leslie. You have not put your challenge up as yet. But is there more behind that handshake? Leslie, they say they want to see you first, what you got. They say they want to see what you got.
Renwood Wells is one of our top sprinters years ago. Went to college on a full track and field scholarship, represented us in the Olympic Games. So he's way above that crew.
Oh, he's
but,
a former
walking
Olympian.
is a different sport.
Yes,
It's not running.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I evade you all fellas to get ready, then give me a buzz. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, Super Value, Odie's, let's go.
Could there be a third political time for former cabinet minister Renwood Wells, as reports suggest, that he might run as an independent? We've been hearing that a little bit, a whole lot, right? Look at Dr. Minnis, look at Andrew Blue Johnson, look at Renwood Wells. Now, of course, the Eyewitness News team, including
But I saw on the show weeks ago he was running. I told you that.
Renwood Wells?
Yeah, I told you all that weeks ago, that he was running.
Yeah, but Wells, first of all, to win, you got to be seen and heard.
Yeah.
You understand? Or to at least be taken seriously. I don't know.
He was in there for 10 years, you know.
I don't know.
2 times.
And this is a different, we talk about the different landscape that it is, that everyone must understand this is a new landscape. Elections are now won, or perhaps I would say,
you got to walk to win.
Look at that. You got to walk to win. You've got to be present and accounted
Walk to
for
win.
on social media. You've got to be out there being about something and not just talking. You heard that. People looking for action and many ways. And so, of course, we made repeated calls to Wells, the newsroom, as well as campaigning there, the newsroom as well as Shanique Miller, and all were unsuccessful. But according to a local daily, Wells is plotting a return to frontline politics without any party affiliation after being sidelined by the Free National Movement, the party he merged forces with in 2015 after cutting ties with the Christie-led PLP. Now, Wells is eyeing the Bambootown constituency. Boy, that's a popular seat, it seems.
Yes.
We can watch that closely. An area he represented for nearly a decade. The F&M Constituency Association has recently lambasted F&M officials after learning that Wells would not be ratified as the party's candidate for the area. Now, political commentators argue that this is no surprise move given his public support for former Prime Minister. You saw him right there jogging, Dr. Hubert Minnis, who was also denied a nomination bid or re-nomination bid. Of course, we'll continue to follow this. Gentlemen, your thoughts on, listen, what if Dr. Minnis is somewhere cooking up something that involves Renwood Wells and maybe even Andrew Blue Johnson? What are y'all thoughts? What do y'all think going on?
I think there's a symbiotic relationship taking place, but I wouldn't say that it's strong. I think everyone at this time is just simply hopeful. I just left Bambootown this evening. I was there to see the minister for Bambootown, which was unsuccessful, but I'll say this much for Bambootown. Renwood Wells did represent the PLP, he represented the F&M, and now he wants to run independently. Keep in mind that Shanique Miller, this is the same Renwood Wells wearing the 3 different hats now. The question really is truly, is Bambootown satisfied with any time Renwood Wells has represented, whether in the PLP, the F&M, and you come now independently, hey, if we chased you as an F&M, do we truly want you independently? We know we're not independent fans. And right now, the same issues that we had when you were in the PLP, we still got the same issues now that you're trying to run independently. So I asked the question, where you going?
Well, God,
I asked the question, where you going? Bambootown is tired. I just left. We are so tired of lousy representation.
Hold on now. You live Golden Isles or Bambootown?
I have a house in Bambootown. I have a house in Golden Isles. I got a house in Sea Breeze.
4 different women.
No, I ain't got no 4 different women.
So, God, what are you saying? You were saying that Renwood Wells as a member, you would be like Garth. Are you saying that Renwood Wells as a member of parliament was just
Renwood Wells is my high school mate. Aaron Bailey class of 87. I know Renwood Wells. I know Renwood Wells when he went into the PLP. We met at Big H's house on Wanahani Circle.
Was he a good MP? God.
Never. I'm telling you he wasn't. I'm telling you.
God, this sounded so personal.
No, it ain't personal. It's just that if I know you and you don't do anything that I can recognize, what you want me to call you? The best? Absolutely not. You're lousy.
Howard, quickly jump in. Quickly.
The F&M has its support in Bambootown. The PLP has its support and a sitting member of parliament in Bambootown. And those who are in the other party, the COI, would believe that they have their support in Bambootown. Renwood Wells is putting himself forward as an independent. What are you bringing to the table as an independent that would make people who regularly vote along party lines during elections to give you a chance to win this seat as an independent? I don't see enough votes I don't see enough slices of the pie for Renwood Wells to have this, to bring the staying power as an individual to win this particular seat.
I bet Leslie $5,000 tonight that he don't win.
I would think that it depends on the lady who's there now, the Speaker of the House, whether she's going to run or not. Because there's a lot of people waiting in the wings to grab that seat. You know, Pat has done a wonderful job, in my estimation. I've worked with her closely in there. Whether she's ready to go again, we shall see. But Renwood stand a chance because he was going to take some votes from the F&M and that will enable the PLP to sneak in there and win.
$5,000.
What did you say, Garth?
I bet Leslie $5,000 he lose if he run.
No betting.
I didn't take the bet.
You would take the bet?
I didn't take the bet.
Beyond the Headlines, we'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Stay close.
We have to be mindful that as much as we want touristic development, what impacts the fishery? Over-coastal development, destruction of mangroves, overzealousness of the industry. We have a new movement called do-it-yourself fishing. That is anglers who come to the Bahamas, they don't engage in hiring a guide. Because of this approach, you are going to have people who are going to exhaust the resources.
This is an industry that's preserved. It should be for Bahamian guides only. We have the DIYs coming in here and they're destroying our flats.
We try not to overfish certain areas, so we'll fish a certain area and we'll back off for a while because we don't want the fish to feel too much pressure.
It's not just using the buzzwords of the environment and the ecology. The tourists can be educated that the more you support local ownership, people are doing it obviously the right way, the more the economic circulation in the communities.
I think the most critical thing is accountability, and that accountability by way of legislation, both the Act and regulations to govern fly fishing in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I look at conservation efforts and the regulation that I've seen to protect the industry that's in the developed world. All of those jurisdictions have implemented strong regulation to protect their fisheries. We are way behind, but we do have a movement and a consciousness. We know where we need to be. Those are our resources, and we have to make an exerted effort to protect it because that's the only gift that we have been given. And if we don't protect that, then we lose everything.
Building the lodge, I understood clearly the mission to continue what my father started. From this lodge, it has served as the headquarters. We finally got legislation passed in 2016, and it legitimized the guiding profession. We pushed to get the program established into BAMSI in the training of the next generation of guides, but it extends way beyond that.
We need more Bahamians in the industry who are doing the research to provide the information to the industry, that is to fishermen and to everybody who benefits from the resources.
We don't know the resources in this country. We grew up just hearing about sun, sand, and sea.
It is going to be through education and awareness, whether it's within our schools, whether it's in our communities, to conserve the environment, that is going to sustain the fly fishing industry.
Well, the future of fly fishing in the company, I think fly fishing is a very, very unique spot. I think it's going to get better because the guides are now being all certified. They're all getting proper knowledge of handling and how to run the whole system.
If you're a youngster and you want to get into this, it's a job like any other job. You got to live it. You got to love it.
Young entrepreneurs coming in, you want that kind of interest. You want that kind of drive and desire. You want to carry that. You want to become the product.
Ministry will host a symposium. The theme is Equipped to Lead, Empowered to Last. It's really, really awesome. Sounds good. I'd like to get into it right now and speak with the leadership team of Greater Bethel Ministry. Please welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Minister Candy Antonio and Elder Christopher Minnis. Good evening to both of you and welcome to Beyond the Headlines.
Good evening, Bahamas. Good evening, Shanique Miller.
Absolutely. Good evening to you, Elder Christopher.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening to you, Minister Antonio. It's good to have you both here. Really awesome. Listen, let's, the church often really kind of neglects sometimes the empowerment aspect of its membership and getting its membership equipped to take over the marketplace. This is a part of what this symposium this Saturday is about at Greater Bethel, yes?
Yes.
Let's just jump right in. Let's just talk about, first of all, the theme, which sounds absolutely awesome. The theme is Equipped to Lead, Empowered to Last. Can we kind of flesh that out as we move forward?
Oh, yes. Empowered to last. I like to start off at that end portion, empowered to last. Nowadays, we don't have enough young people, we don't have enough people, period, pushing the Word of God. You will have it where the church is pushing every other agenda except the Word of God. And what we are doing this week, we are implementing this push into the things of the Lord. Empowered to last. I look at it as a generational thing. The ministry was started with Dr. Forbes. Then it went to Bishop David Dawkins. Then it went to Bishop Christopher Minnis. Who has it next is the main question. Who is next? Now, all of this prayer, all of this training, where is it going to land? And this is where we came up with the symposium to implement training for our future leaders, to take from our older generation and implement in our new.
Now, of course, Reverend Dr. Patrick Paul, who is a former superintendent of the Church of God Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, is currently the regional director of Transformational Church Cohort. Right. And of course, he is also a former president of the Christian Council.
That's right.
Absolutely. And so let's just talk about, let's zero in on why training matters, why this is important, why it's important too. Because people may say, man, if you call by God, excuse me, what training you need? God got that. But but yes, but also no, training is important.
Very important. Let me put it to you this way. When you are a child, you play with little Legos. You put the Legos together. But now when you become a man, you look at construction. So the training between Legos and construction, there has to be some sort of training in between them. Legos is a small scale. Construction, blocks, concrete, you need that to build a nation. But if you don't have the training to do that, if you don't know what the PSI is, if you don't know what the steel is, if you don't know what all of these attributes to building is, your building will fall right before your very eyes. And so we need some training to tell us, okay, you put this much PSI in the foundation so that you will be able to hold the building which you desire to put on it. You will know the size of the building. Listen, training is so important. The Lord said, listen, train up a child in the way that he should go, that when he gets older, it always talks about the older, it always talks about the end part. My God, he will not depart.
How important is it to secure the legacy for ministries?
But to support this securing the legacy, a scripture comes to mind. You are to strengthen the things that remain. Bishop Dawkins brought some good stuff while he was there. Bishop Minnis brought some good stuff while he is there. But there's some things they have coming up that I mean, it's going to shake this place. We got to hold on to that. Bishop Minnis hold on to the thing that Bishop Dawkins held in high regard. And he took the church from one level to another. If we don't hold on to the things that remain, we will fall apart. The foundation.
Yes.
The foundation. If we don't hold on to those things, what makes us Bahamian. Listen, we are a Bahamian nation. We are a godly nation. I can put that out there. We are a godly nation. We don't serve 2 and 3, 4 gods. No, ma'am, no, sir. We are a godly nation. And if we were to hold on to that one firm foundation, my God, the pits of hell gotta recede. Got to. Yes,
now,
ma'am.
a part of this symposium, once again, the symposium is this Saturday, the 25th. A part of this symposium being taught by Charlene Paul. Of course, she's an executive in the finance industry. So she's going to focus on money matters. The church don't necessarily zero in on money, except when it's time to pass the plate around.
Offering.
Yeah, pass the plate. But in order to educate its membership, because Christian people oftentimes are the ones who most miss it. miss it in terms of not being able to understand the value of money, respect money, understand that money is a tool.
Yes.
What is this money matters aspect going to focus in on?
Yes, I totally believe and totally agree that money is a tool. It is a tool. It ain't nothing else but a tool. The Bible say money answereth all things. That's a tool to build. Yes, ma'am, that's a tool. My bishop used to say, if you don't respect money, money ain't gonna be around you. You gotta respect money. If you have your money wrinkle up and you give it wrinkle up, you don't respect money. As simple as
So
it
wait a
is
minute.
to-
So the way you even keep your money in your wallet,
Yes, ma'am.
is important.
It's very important. If you understand attraction, if you come up to work in a wrinkled dress, my God, what kind of attraction you gonna have?
You're right.
As opposed to coming all nicely pressed. Hey, that's it within itself. That could tell you everything.
You didn't preach the word.
Within itself.
And that
Yes,
right there.
ma'am.
That because I never even thought of it like that when I say respect money.
Yes, ma'am.
Understand the value of money.
Yes, ma'am.
The fact that, listen, how you treat money
How you treat it.
is also very important.
Yes.
It calls in more. It's that law of
Oh, my
attraction.
God.
You know
Law
what I
of
mean?
attraction.
It's awesome. I like it. Now, I see the church stepping into, we talked about it at the top of tonight's show, and the fact that there is new media. Our CEO, in fact, talked about it when it comes to mainstream media, that now it has total competition in social media. And so it seems as though you all in this symposium will look at that and helping people to identify what is their brand. How do you plan on sort of presenting that?
Yes. So in dealing with this portion where it says, what is your brand? Now, a young lady, she's going to be dealing with this portion. Her name is Whitley Sterling. She's married. She's going to be talking about the marriage brand. She has a child. She's going to be talking it from a child brand, the child brand. Then she's a wife. She's going to be talking about this wife brand. But in it all, she's going to be talking about the brand of success. She's a young entrepreneur. And the brand is what you present to somebody and what they receive from it. But not only what they receive from it, but what they gather from it, what they perceive, what they get from it, what you put your brand out there and what people do. I had I don't know if you know this gentleman. His name is Mr. Bo. He's from Atlantis. And he normally speaks on brand. He said, when you go to the restaurant, he said, you're not going to watch a movie. He said, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get your smell engaged first. And then after you get your smell, you're going to use your visuals to scan the place. And after you scan the place, you're going to see where you're going to sit. You can get comfortable. He said, so your brand is what you eat, what you touch, what you feel. That is your brand.
How you show up.
Yes. My God.
It's a whole lot as it relates to your brand and how you
Yes,
present
ma'am.
that.
How you present it.
Even as a woman or man of faith,
Yes.
in particular, I imagine. And now, let your light shine. Here we come right back full circle in terms of living this life of faith and putting it out on display.
Let your light so shine before men that they will see your good works. And they won't give you the glory, but they will give God the glory. That's the caveat of it all, giving God the glory. But how many of us have struggled a bit? How many of us had fallen by the wayside for a bit? Listen, let your light so shine before men. You're going to fall, you're going to do all of that. All of that is in the blessing. The blessing is waiting for you. So you got to climb up. You think it's a straight line, but when you reach so far, you got to make a turn. You got to jump. You got to hop. You got to go under. You got to go around. So there are a number of
pivots.
Oh my God!
But just don't get like out of alignment while you're pivoting.
Remember the alignment. Remember that. Remember that. Remember the end goal, and the end goal is let your light so shine. That's it. Everybody's struggling, but when you remember let your light so shine, you can tell yourself this ain't the end because we gotta struggle. But guess what? The end is going to be brighter. Let your light so shine before me.
Now, when is this symposium? I did say Saturday, but give us please time and location and who can attend.
Yes, ma'am. This symposium is on the Saturday. It's on Saturday at 9 a.m., 9 to 3 p.m.
Oh, a full day.
Yes, ma'am, a full day. It's the 25th of October Pre-registration is at 8:30 a.m. And students, we have some of our cadre of students from different schools who will be attending. Listen, you guys are only $15. So y'all come on down to Greater Bethel Cathedral. That's by Carlton E. Francis. You turn right through that corner. Listen to me. Straight down in the back, you'll see the big gold church, white trim.
Now, of course, Minister Antonio, you're not just here to give moral support. You are here because there's another event that Greater Bethel is hosting just in a few days in November.
Yes.
Please tell us about that.
Yes. So November 15th, we will be celebrating our bishop, that's Bishop Christopher Minnis, and First Lady Melanie Minnis. So we're going to start off with a gala banquet, Shanique. So we are excited because we're coming to honor the man and woman of God. 20 years of stellar service. And the Word of God tells us to honor those who labor in ministry. Yeah. They have toil, they have sacrifice, they are dedicated, they are committed to the work of the Lord. And Shanique, is only fitting that we come and celebrate these two great man and woman of God.
Mm-hmm. Now, give us more information about this banquet, where, and then obviously it's open to the public.
Yes. So it's all happening. That's November 15th at the British Colonial Hotel at 6:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So you all are invited. So for further information, you can contact the church. That's 361-2800. And Shanique, that's 2 decades of service. That's no small feat, Shanique.
What makes their leadership so outstanding?
So Shanique, they are committed, they are open-minded, they are compassionate, they lead with integrity, humility, and Shanique, you can call them at any time. I had a situation with my daughter. One night she was just running with the fever. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And we prayed and it wasn't no results as yet. But I got on the phone and I called my bishop, and 3 o'clock in the morning, yes, he's sleeping. And when he answered the phone, I said, Bishop, my daughter, she's not feeling well. We can't get the fever to break. And he said, you know what, Minister Candy, we're going to hold faith. We're going to pray. And he prayed, and when he finished praying, Shanique, my daughter jumped out of the bed and said, Mom, I feel much, much, much more better. Shanique, the man of God, is unselfish. He is compassionate, Shanique, and he lives a life of prayer.
Yes.
Shanique, his whole life is
it's a
prayer.
Where prayer is the focal point.
Yes.
It's
a foundation, Shanique. Yes. It is the most powerful entity given to the human family. He not only talk prayer, but his whole lifestyle, Shanique, is prayer. And I thank God that we are part of such a prodigious ministry, and it was always my passion, Lord, before I became a member of my church, it was always my passion for the Lord to lead me to a house of prayer. Yeah. And I thank God that I was led to the Greater Bethel Cathedral, the city of David, my God, whereas I sit under the feet of my bishop, Shanique.
And once again, when is this banquet?
November 15th. That's November 15th, a Saturday at 6:30 p.m. at the British Colonial Hotel.
And Elder Christopher, once again, this Saturday, the symposium.
Yes, it is at 8:30 by the grace of God, 8:30 to 3 p.m. Yes.
And it's open to everybody.
Everybody.
Phone number for information.
361-2800. That's 361-2800.
I thank you both very much. Of course, these are leaders of the Greater Bethel Ministry. Of course, you heard there's a symposium this Saturday in the middle of November, a banquet to celebrate the pastors there. And of course, they're inviting you to come and support, but more importantly, to be empowered, especially on Saturday, and then later on to have some fun, good Christian fun. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in this evening. It's certainly been awesome having you along. Of course, at the top of tonight's show and the first 2 segments, my Hot Topics panelists, Leslie Miller, Garth Roseborough, and Howard Johnson. Thank you guys very, very much. And of course, right here in this segment, thank you so much to Greater Bethel. And a big thank you to all of you this evening. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow evening, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.